Example today, we're going to discuss how to handle a buyer who does not qualify for a home loan. Now, what do we do when one of our home buyers doesn't qualify for a home loan? First off, I want to remind you, remember 2007, 2008, 2009 in the real estate world. What happened in those years? That's right, we had a huge recession in this country. A huge recession. Home values were just decreasing like crazy. And it was going on immediately. It wasn't a slow decrease. It was like almost overnight. It was very, very substantial, and it was very, very quick. That being said, a lot of people's credit score was affected for the years to come after that. So that being said, we're here today, 2017. You have a buyer who's excited and they want to buy a home. It's their first home, and it's an emotional time, and they're going to share this time with you. They pick you as their realtor. It's nice. It's exciting. You're going to be a big part of this deal. So you take them to the lender, whether it's your preferred lender or their preferred lender, and you sit down and they offer you a cup of coffee. Hey, lender, how you doing? And the lender, of course, does his financial analysis of these buyers. He checks their credit, checks their employment, checks if they have any money in the bank. And two of the three is okay. One is not okay, and the one that's not okay is the credit. Let's just assume. So because the credit isn't the best, the lender says no can do. This isn't going to happen. They are not approved for a loan. So you get upset as an agent. The buyers, of course, are even more distraught over this. They're like, oh no, but we just found the house we really want to buy. So now we have a bit of a situation here. So what do we do if the buyer doesn't qualify for a home loan? Well, there's a couple of things we do. The ideal thing, of course, would be if we had a buyer who had all cash. That happens rarely, and it's far and few between. So if you don't have a buyer cash, of course, you're gonna need a home loan. So now we got the home loan, it gets denied. So what do we do? There's a couple of things we could do. And there's a couple of reasons why home loans get denied. Number one reason why most home loans get denied is one of three things. First one is the credit score. The credit score isn't the best, but that can be fixed properly if we just stand back and just reason this thing out. Think about it. The lender's gonna help you fix this. Now, the best thing to do is this. The only way you can fix something is if you know what's wrong with it. So what you do is this. You sit down with the lender, and the lender's gonna show you. They're gonna actually show you what your score is and how the score got to be, 550. 550 is a pretty poor score. And the lender's going to show it to you right there in black and white. The reason you have a 550 is because this, and this. Well, now knowing this information as a home buyer, you can go back and fix these items. Now, typically to fix this stuff might take months, could take years. And you talk to your wife, your spouse, your husband, whatnot. You say, well, honey, I guess we're going to have to go do this and pay this off and do this. And that can take months, years. But you're excited. You want to get it done now. Well, sometimes that score, that FICO score, is this close to getting a home loan. It's this close. You're just shy of that pre-approval stage because your score is just a smudge too small, too low. So what do? That's why it's great to have a great lender in front of you. Great lender will tell you, well, listen, I just reviewed your credit report, and if you go fix this, and this, what about this here, Mr. Buyer? Was this you back in, 2014? And the buyer says, no, that's not my account. And the lender says, well, we need to get this removed. If that's not you, we have to dispute this. And the good thing nowadays is that we have what's called a rapid rescore. And a rapid rescore is exactly the way it sounds. They rescore your credit score rapidly. Let me explain. You get a 550 FICO score. And on your credit report, there is an entry there that doesn't belong to you, and that entry is affecting your credit score negatively, substantially. It's really bringing it down. It's something that happened back in 2014. Now you want to have that removed, because by having it removed, that will increase your FICO score just enough to get that home loan. So typically, of course, a possible home buyer would go and contact the three credit bureaus. Ready? TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And they will inform these three credit bureaus, hey, please remove this item. Here's the proof that it's not my item, or here is the proof that it was paid back in 2014. Please remove this from my credit report because I'm looking to buy a house. Now you try telling a home buyer, hey, well, you're gonna have to wait 30 to 60 days, maybe longer, for us to remove this. A home buyer wants it done quickly because they want to get into the house. So the buyer asked the lender, can you please have my credit rapid rescored? And the lender would say, well, sure. Now with the rapid rescore, what happens is the lender submits the evidence that the debt was paid, or it was disputable. The disputable debt was, should be taken off with the three credit bureaus, and the lender can have that removed within 3 to 7 days. Sometimes it happens quickly, which is great because now the buyer can get back in the real estate game. They can go out and purchase their home, knowing that their score has increased, all because the rapid rescore. The rapid rescore did great for them, which is fantastic. Everybody's happy. You now have a client who's ready to rock and roll. The lender's ready to loan the money out to the buyers. The buyers are ready to go out and purchase their property, and everybody's honky-dory. It's a beautiful world all over again. So there's options out there. Another reason why some buyers don't get their loans approved right away is because, of course, they haven't been at their jobs long enough. Some buyers don't get their loans approved because their debt-to-income ratio is much too high. Sure, they make a lot of money, but they have a lot of debt, which is a no bueno, amigo. Ready? There's a couple of things I also want you to know. Another couple of options when it comes to buyers who are not getting approved immediately. They can also go to a mortgage broker. Mortgage brokers don't have any money to lend. That's why they call them brokers, because they're broke. What they do is they originate. They originate loans, which means they just begin the loans, right? But the cool thing about mortgage brokers is they know tons of people in the lending industry, which means they know tons of lenders who are willing to loan with different criteria. Sure, Bank of America or Wells Fargo or Chase, all these big, huge banks may have a criteria that if you want to borrow from them, you got to meet these criteria. But there might be other lenders out there who are much smaller who have criteria that's down here, and you may qualify with a slightly not so strong FICO score. You may qualify for their loan with not so much income. You may qualify for their loan without being at your job for 2 years. These mortgage brokers have the ability to contact tons of lenders, and they may find one. They may find one that will accept your buyer's financial situation. Last but not least, we have what we'll call hard money lenders. They can provide a loan to the buyer, sure, a short-term loan for high interest rate, and the buyer then has the ability to go buy his house, but he's got to return that payment pretty darn soon, and if not, that interest rate is extremely high. Got it? So there's a few options. So if your buyer right away doesn't get qualified for a loan, do me a favor, don't hesitate, and don't let them walk away. Do yourself a favor, do them a favor, help them get a loan. How? By showing them the avenues of getting there. How? Showing them a lender who can help, maybe a mortgage broker, maybe a hard money lender. But ready, wait for this. Most of the time, a great lender will sit down with them patiently and explain to them, listen, if you do this, this, and this, your FICO score will increase tremendously, and it will help you, the buyer, get that home loan you've always wanted. Hope this helps you out. Don't let any buyers get away. The lender will decide if they're worth keeping or not. Help them, help them, help them. This is a business of not making commission, but this is also a business of people, which means you got to help for their benefit, not just yours. Hope this helped you out, Have a great afternoon. If you have any questions or concerns, do yourself a favor and us a favor. Leave it down below in the comment section.